Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to another breaking news stream, ladies and gentlemen. Our second breaking news stream of this summer. I was supposed to do the Georgia game, but I was like, you know what? Let's talk about Chelsea instead, because no one trying to do Georgia Czech Republic. I don't even know the score. Let me even check. Let me switch on my TV just in case. Just tell you guys the score or whatever. I've done every single Euro watch along. Today I'm doing Turkey, Portugal, possibly the Belgium game as well. I'm unsure of it. Oh, wow. Georgia's 1-0 up. Thank God I didn't do this watch along. Czech Republic stink, man. I'm sorry, Pavel Nedved. I'm sorry, Milan Baros. I'm sorry, Jan Koller. You have to watch this crap. Shout out to all the beautiful Czech Republic women as well. Big up to you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to This is Football if you're yet to do so. This is you watching us right now. I just want you to hit this X button and this like button right here. See? Right there. Like button. Look at this. 120 people, only 42 likes. That's some Darwin Núñez shit. That's some Luis Diaz shit. You guys are not Colombians or Uruguayans. So hit the like button and subscribe right now. And yes, as it says on the title, Michael Olise, Habibis, is headed to Bayern Munich. You get me? So yeah, it's just it's a phenomenal piece of news. It's a phenomenal piece of news. So we're here to talk about it. We're here to discuss it. And yeah, big up to you guys. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Big up to Jack Super Chat. I'm going to read it out in a second. First and foremost, this guy has been taking the brunt of all the Chelsea punches. And I want to give him credit because one thing that I respect about this guy, three years I've known him on YouTube. I've known him, many people don't know this. I've known Andrew for a really long time. And he never ducks smoke. He's always here, win, lose, or draw. Anytime there's breaking news, he's the most reliable guy. He's actually the Conor Gallagher of the Chelsea fan base. Man like Andrew is in the building. How are you doing, Andrew, man?
What the hell was that? And that last bit, Conor Gallagher. What the hell? Sorry, I look different. I've had to take the smoke alarms out of my house because I've been set on fire the past 24 hours. That's all my right enforcement fan base. So I have to smell a bit of smoke. But thank you for inviting me on. Obviously, you freeloading bozos. It's the one that looks like that. The button that looks like that. You're freeloading bozos. Just press that, will you? Sam's gonna have his spine realigned by the time the new season starts. He's sitting there. He's sitting there. He's gonna be like a hunchback by the time Liverpool's first game with Ipswich starts.
Hey, Andrew, thank God it's the last day with 3 games.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, tomorrow it's like they're both on it. Like you could at 8. You're like, your spine's like it's like yeah. Like that, yeah.
I can actually sleep tomorrow, like sleep really long, and wake up happy, refreshed, go to the gym properly instead of rushing it. So it's all
exactly.
good, So that's
all good.
Big up to you, Andrew. And joining us as well is possibly the worst Chelsea manager of all time, by far. By far, worst Chelsea manager of all time. Regardless whether you're Poch or Pochin, he's worse than him. He's worse than Rafa Benitez. He's worse than any of these managers. If you guys haven't watched the Bridge FIFA episodes, please go watch the Bridge. Please, it's in the description. You have to go subscribe to the Bridge, watch his FIFA. He's the worst FIFA player of all time. And the worst part is, in the words of Andrew, he's controlling the players. He's controlling the players, and then he moans that the player isn't doing what he controlled him to do. You're controlling the guy, you fraud. But he's one of my favorite guys to work with, by far, one of my favorite guys to work with. And he's been shining recently. Over the last month, he's been putting the work in. He's been absolutely killing it on YouTube. You see him on Rivals Rumble. You see him on this channel as well. The man, the myth, the legend, the Chelsea Hamza is in the building. Man like Ahmed. How are you doing, Ahmed? Man?
Wow. Listen, for me personally, I'm a football manager guy. You see me a football manager, the players do as I say. You know what I mean? Sometimes, the hands-off approach is needed. You know what I mean? Not the hands-on approach. You know what I'm saying, guys? So hands-off approach, is much better than the hands-on one. But obviously, nice to be here as always. And let's have this talk.
Big up to you, my guy. Big up to you. So before we get started, let me just read Jack's super chat. He says, F it, man. Only reason Chouameni gets prop in Madrid. He has worse offensive and defensive stats than Ross Barkley during Luton. Barely comes off the bench. Jack? My brother?
Tranquilo, man. Tranquilo.
Let's not do the Chelsea fan stuff where we sit up here and do copium, because I brought you 2 guys who are going to be real about their football club. No copium. Bro. This ain't no Carefree Lewis stream where they're all sat here like, oh yeah, oh my God, it's okay we didn't get Olise. We're gonna send it. You know what they were saying yesterday? We should send his brother to Indian Super League. I'm like, there's no way you guys are that fraudulent that you want to sell his brother now just because he rejected you. Listen, Chouameni walks into the Liverpool starting 11. Furthermore, Chouameni starts for every single club in the Premier League, including Man City, because he's better than Kovacic. And he definitely starts for Arsenal, and he starts for us, and he starts for Chelsea, he starts for everyone. Chouameni is absolutely phenomenal. Let's not do this. France are managed by Didier Deschamps. That's like judging Gakpo, who's managed by that idiot Koeman. It's just that's the bloody problem. So the managers have been the biggest issue in this Euros, even for the smaller nations, not willing to attack, not willing to do any of that. Look at Slovakia yesterday. 1-0 up against Ukraine and suddenly decide to park the bus. Respectfully, you're playing Ukraine, not Brazil, with Ronaldinho on R9. But big up to you, Jack. I appreciate you, my brother. Ashraf is in the building, says, don't mind me, just my daily support to this legendary channel. Big up Don Hussam and the panel. Low-key, Ashraf, you're carrying this channel at this point. You're helping the Hussam marriage fund. You're helping me buy a ring for her. I don't know
the marriage fund, yeah? He's helping with the marriage fund, yeah?
Yeah, marriage fund. Khalas, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Sam's gonna budget that and cut off that for a new chair fund soon. That's what it's gonna be.
Listen, there's a new laptop fund, a new camera fund, a new microphone fund, and a new wife fund as well. I need to start Project Mbappe. Khalas. I want to retire 15 years from now when Liverpool sign my son for 500 million. You know, inflation will be crazy. 500 million. I'll be like, listen, I'll be like Haaland's dad. Every time he scores the goal, you send me 50 grand, you know? I'm his dad. I'm the reason that he's here, you know? I'm me and his mom, so you better pay us to get me type stuff. So
that's the bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. You really believe that Erling Haaland's dad don't get paid? He get paid.
Yeah,
he got a fee when they signed. Remember, he got like 20 million or something.
He got an agent fee, man. He got the agent fee.
Under the table, you know, under the table. Here you go, Habibi. Oh, Haaland scored. Here you go, another 50 grand to your bank account. Let's go. That's the one. Big up to you, my guy, Ashraf. Shukran, Habibi. Wallah, you've been supporting us from the start of the Euros. Big up to you. Big up to Jack as well for the super chats. Guys, slap the like button. Subscribe to This Is Football Mods. Keep pushing for the like button as well. And let's just get this started. Talk to me, guys. I want to start with Ahmed first because, you know, I want to hear his opinion because it's still fresh to the mind what Andrew said yesterday. Tell me your thoughts on the situation.
I have to say, man, you know, I think the key word I was looking at on Olise Papacia is disheartening because, you know, when you hear all of these, you know, reports from different media sources saying he wants to come to Chelsea are like the number one option for him. You know, we you know, you're hearing you're obsessed with him. You know, you're hearing you're doing every single thing for the player. You know, you're expecting the outcome to be that he's going to come to your football club. You know, whether, you know, maybe that might not happen for an external reason. Something like crazy might happen, of course, like Roman happens. But in general, when you hear all of that stuff, you're expecting the player to come in. But when I'm hearing now about there's financial issues and as to why it's not coming, and it's not for me, the release clause issue, because I don't know if you just saw now, Bayern have just now confirmed it for I think £50 million, by the way, for the player. So it's clearly a way
for an English club to for a foreign club.
Is it okay? Then my apologies. Maybe that one, man. But in general, right? Like even the fee was going to be around about £60 million for him. I think for the English clubs, if I'm not mistaken. So the fee is still for the player that he is was good enough. The issue for me that I have is the financial stuff. I get, you know, having a wage structure, right? Wage structure, of course, is important for any side, right? If you want to maintain that, obviously with the PSR, the wage cap stuff. But the reality is also when you have is that when you get some of these players, you know, it can be a Olise, it can be now a Nico William, a Lamine Yamal, whoever these guys are, the upper echelons in Europe, the top tier talents, they are going to ask for 200k, 250k a week. That's going to be all natural, if you're being honest, yeah? And the moment you cannot do that, you cut yourself out of a market, yeah? Where you cannot bring in elite, maybe you could say talent, maybe even, you know, what's it called? The almost close to elite talent or up and coming to that section. So fundamentally, for me personally, you've cut that off now, you know. And listen, I understand the idea of bringing these guys before they come in. I'm a big fan of that. You do that, you can develop them in the squad, but eventually your team, whether you like it or not, is eventually going to need some of these top guys. Whether you like it or not, the team is going to need it. And when that happens, are you not are you not willing to pay at least one or two players? I'm not even saying the wage structure should at least allow one or two players in those positions to be paid that value. For me now, the worrying thing I have now is that what's to say now? Let's say Cole Palmer another season now he goes into that one, right? He goes another 48 GNA season, or maybe Madueke bursts through, or like Jackson continues to go upwards, and they continue to produce these numbers. Yes, we've got them on long contracts, but eventually there's got to come a point where they're gonna be like, listen, all my other peers are getting that much money at different other clubs.
Yeah, Palmer's already Palmer's already going to get his wages doubled. This is the whole point. These ones now, these contracts or whatever the term is all incentivized, right? Is what is actually what football fans, if you really in the back of their minds, really want the contracts to be for their players, or to be incentivized so you work for your thing. But my thing is this: I'm going to just concentrate on the wages.
The bad thing about the incentivized contracts, though, is the following, Andrew, and we had this problem when we went for the quadruple charge season.
Yes,
you actually start making losses if your team does really well.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the quadruple charge season. I think it was reported we paid around 200 million in wage bonuses because we made Champions League. We got to the Champions League final. We challenged for the league. Like, I think it was like whoever was the top goal scorer. I think Mo Salah got like an individual award. We got to the Champions League final. We won 2 trophies that year as well. So it was like almost reported we paid 200 million in bonuses, which is insane, to be fair.
And who did you bought? And then that summer, that I know you don't like to be reminded, but that summer you bought Darwin Núñez, right? Am I right? That summer 22. No, I know you know, but what I'm saying is, they just. But let's focus back to the wages because I know people want to focus on that. My thing is this with the wages, and it will be a problem, right?
Yes, it will.
Chelsea are trying to negotiate, first of all, in a seller's market. It's not a buyer's market. It's all a seller's market because everyone's got money, right? So automatically, you're in 10 years ago, you'd be able to snap up Olise for 25 million from Christmas because they would have to sell, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, 10 million even. 10 million.
10 even.
Yes.
Now all the money in, no one has to sell for unless they don't want to sell. Also, Chelsea are going in like we're in a position of strength as well.
Exactly.
We're not in a position of strength because we have no UCL football, right? We've got no Champions League football to fall back on. Yeah. And also, if you want to say, and also you're coming in with either wages that are lower than what some people are earning or matching only our highest bid is 180 or something like that. Now, when you are in that position, obviously the player's going to ask for more because of what you're only offering. You're only offering league football and Europa Conference League football. Do you know what I mean? Of course you're going to ask for more. Now, Chelsea don't want to pay that. That's up to them. And in the long term, they're either going to find out that this isn't going to be prudent or they're going to pull off some deals like they did with Palmer and Gusto and Jackson and stuff like that. But for people that are ready to go right now and the position we're in is current right now, you will have to overpay or else you're not going to get the players that you want. And the problem is, to get to Champions League football, you have to buy ready-made players right now. This whole potential shit is the word potential for me has lost all meaning over the last
100%. 100%.
Yes, thank you, thank you, Andrew.
You know where it is, Andrew. Andrew, I want to ask you a question.
Let me just finish. And I could care less about Kendry Pius and Esteval William coming next year. What are you going to do for me this year to get us? Because I want them. Because funny enough, I want those guys coming in to a winning team, to a team that's playing well, so they can settle faster and not have to be relied upon. Right? That's my problem. So you can sign all these players for 25, 26, 27. It's 2024. They couldn't wait 24, 48 hours for the dust to settle into Olise for this fragile Chelsea mind fan base. And then you're linking me with some Aston Villa kid or something like Kellerman or whatever his name is.
I think he's a 19-20-year-old.
Right. And by the way, I know Sam will agree with this. Sam, those deals between Newcastle, Villa, Everton, and Chelsea is money laundering and PSR.
That's just my laundering.
It's my laundering. This is what it's done. This is all to help PSR. But back to the wages thing. Chelsea are going to learn very quickly that they're either going to be.
He just agreed the deal, by the way. Sorry.
They're going to have to be stubborn and stick with this, and maybe pull off a few deals here and there, or they're going to have to change, or they're going to have to hope we get into the UCL so they can stick with this sort of.
No, but the problem is the mixed messaging. Because you have to decide. Exactly. Well, what I want to know is if I were in you guys' shoes, I want to know one thing. Are we going to do Project Youth or are you telling me top 4 and win trophies and develop step by step?
Yes,
What is
exactly.
happening here? Just make it clear to me, because
But
I
fundamentally,
hate, and I hated the same thing that happened to my football club when there's ambiguity. When there's ambiguity, it's never a good outcome. Ambiguity is the worst thing that could happen to a fan base, regardless who you support, because you're getting mixed messages. If Chelsea signed Olise, gave him the wages that's required, and actually, went for it, you'd be like, okay, guys, we're now being serious. Now we wanna take it to the next level. Now we want to get top 4. Now we want to win. It's obvious. We're trying to go to the next step. But when you start telling me names, with all due respect, like Estevao, there's no difference. You signed Washington last summer. We haven't seen him all year long. You signed all these kids last summer. Who gives a F? Like, it's not like. And by the way, I don't even know for a fact if you signed these kids to make money on them or not. Like 5 years from now,
well,
how am I supposed to know?
Exactly.
Maybe you look at Estevao as £100 million signing, like 5 years from now, 6 years from now, that you sell him for 4 times his original price tag after using him like a soap bar. That's the only thing you could think of. So we don't know if here's the issue. The signals cannot be mixed, because Ahmed's point is so true, and I mentioned it on my There You Are stream today, my pre-recorded video. Check it out, guys, if you haven't. I said it. Here's the thing. When you go for a Premier League quality proven player, you're going to have to pay Premier League quality proven wages. Just how it goes. Liverpool Football Club, you want Olise's teammate. We've wanted Mark Guehi for a while. I know for a fact we're not going to call Mark Guehi his agent and offer him 50 grand a week. Obviously, we're not. We're going to have to pay him Premier League quality proven money, because Mark Guehi, he's played for England. Same thing with Olise, international. Obviously he's not at the Euros right now, but he's an international. Played for England. You get me? He's there at the Euros. He's played for Crystal Palace now for 3-4 years, so he's Premier League proven. He ain't trying to make the move to Liverpool and get 50 grand a week. He's gonna ask for more wages than what he's on Crystal Palace anyway. That's the thing. So you have to, when you go into the market, whether it's what Andrew said, whether it's a seller's market or a buyer's market, when you go into the market, you need to understand the market. That's the basic thing, first and foremost. If I'm going to sign Michael Olise, who Bayern Munich want, and Liverpool want, and Chelsea want, and Man United want, and Newcastle want, I know I'm going to have to offer him probably a bit more money to try kind of seduce him to come to my football club. It's just how it goes. It's just how it goes.
So for me,
sorry, so you said about mixed messaging, right? That's been since Poch has been sacked, right? You can't come out and go, I want top 4 and a trophy, and then sign Enzo Maresca. This isn't even against Enzo Maresca, right?
Exactly.
If you'd signed up Almarim and De Zerbi, then I understand the message, right? No matter whatever you think of De Zerbi or something like that, I understand. You then can't go, oh man, you know what? We went for Elise and then go sign me Somerville from Leeds. Do you know what I mean? All this like element. It doesn't make any sense. Now, I don't know what the other options are, because some people online are going, oh yeah, we'll just go for Nico Williams. Well, first of all, Nico Williams is on more than Elise is going to be on right now.
Andrew, Nico Williams is on 210k euros a week.
And his buyout clause is you'll have to pay it fully, because Bilbao, people don't know this, Bilbao do not do transfer fees. Okay?
Yep.
And we've already bought one expensive player from Bilbao in our history in Kepa, and look how we're still paying for that right now, right? And I'm not saying Nico Williams would be like that, but you have to, there's no structure of payments with Bilbao. It's full release clause payout right there and then. You have to pay it like that. So
actually,
and by the way, Andrew,
according to Tribuna, he actually does earn 200 grand euros per week.
Yeah, does. And also to just to add on to that point, they've already released news saying they're worried about the financial package for Nico Williams. So why did he even put his name in the first place?
That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this. If I'm Chelsea right now, if I was working at Chelsea right now, my advice would be to them right now, do not leak to your price who you're going for unless you know you're actually going to go for them and pay the wages they want, right? Or else there's no point. There's no point approaching Nico Williams if you're not going to offer him big wages, okay? There is absolutely no 100%. Point whatsoever. This is the whole point of Olise. If you weren't going to pay what he wanted, then you should have just walked away as soon as possible. Surely you knew all this, like, you had to approach Palace first. That was all PR stuff like that. You know you approach the player first and the agent first. We all know this. This is all that happens. Just don't bother getting the fans' hopes up and something like that. If this is the way it's going to be, I'd rather be not linked to someone unless we pay. Unless it's cut the boot that we paid for them and they're all done. That's what I'm saying. So they're going to have to learn the hard way. Like I said, they're gonna be stubborn and go with this, or they're gonna learn the hard way if we don't make UCL that they're gonna have to pay over the odds in next year as well. So we need for their financial thing to work, who they want to pay and stuff like that. This team has to make UCL this season. But the ironic thing is, they need to buy players and pay them more to make UCL this season as well. Yep. So it's like it doesn't make sense. You're just
one of the ironies.
This is where this season, you will even if we perform badly, you will barely, if not hear me say Maresca out. I am squarely on the sporting directors and the ownership. Because I don't expect it. I don't know what to expect from Maresca. That's all. Because I'm not. I don't know what
are some of the Chelsea fans on C24? You're talking about challenging for the league. Are you?
I want
to serious, bro. I know you're one of Lewis's disciples, but you cannot be this delusional. Wallahi, you cannot be this delusional because you give the likes of Andrew and Ahmed a bad name because they have to answer for your crimes. Sat here talking about title race.
Sam, remember last time
I can't see it.
Sam, remember when I was said to you on stream, I think the last time we did a Chelsea round table, I told you, I cannot ask for Maresca to get top 4 with his current experience. It'd be wrong of me to do so, and with the current players we have, because I don't know, where he is right now. Can he even take the next step? For all I know, in 2 months' time, we could be crashing out with him, or we could be going up in places with him too. So with Maresca, that's my viewpoint on him. But I think for me, you need to add value to the team. But when I'm hearing guys like Duran, Samu Omoridion, now I'm hearing Maximilian Bayer, for example, in the striker market, right?
Don't get me wrong. Maximilian Bayer, man.
But listen, don't get twisted. Don't get it twisted. Duran, yes, you can say the potential thing. I can rate that from him. Samuel Meridian, yes. But the problem is, if you want to get top 4, at some point, you need some level of experience. If you look at the last 5 games in particular, one of the things that helped us push through, unironically, even though I hate him the most, but he's one of my biggest ups. Sterling, key goals he produced. In Cuckoo, key goals that he was able to do. Right? Those are the guys who have some level of experience that are able to push you through at that time. Right, so again, that's what, and even Reece James, for example, another one that's got experience for us. So that's what I'm saying to you. You need some level of experience in the team. Well, I don't know why people are not willing to accept that school of thought. And again, I'm pretty sure Andrew will agree with me when I say this. Andrew, when you have a wage structure, eventually there has to be some space in the wage structure to allow a player of 2 of experience. The fact you even got on Cuckoo on 100k a week, right, is beyond amazing, right? Let's not get it twisted, right? But you should have 1 or 2 more guys that you can put on a bit more extra money, right? And then that can help you for the team. You're not always gonna bang with these youngsters. You're not gonna bang with these youngsters, guys, all the time. Yes, we banged with Gusto. Yes, we banged with Palmer. To an extent, Jackson, right? We've banged with some of these guys, but it's not always going to be the case. Just as we did with some of the elite guys you brought in under Roman who did not work. It's not always going to be the opposite. It's not going to be. It's also can be the opposite of some of these young guys too.
And this is my problem.
We've even seen Sesko. We've watched him at the Euros, 2 games now.
Yeah,
this is the problem with the raw talent. I saw it with my own club with Darwin Núñez. When you sign talent, he either delivers straight away or needs time to deliver or whatever the hell. Many Liverpool fans are looking right now at Darwin Núñez and saying, like, this is your last chance. This season you don't perform, we want to sell you. Me personally, I've had enough already. But the point is, you watch Benjamin Sesko. The second game for Slovenia, the game that they had against Serbia. That guy was like 2 sitters. The guy was like literal 2 sitters. And in the first game, he showed glimpses, the shot where it was like 300 kilometers per hour at the bar and at the post. Like, he has potential. He's going to cook. Yeah, but I don't know that for sure. So if he starts for Chelsea next season, first 10 games, first 5 games, he scores 5 goals. And he's the Premier League top goal scorer and is cooking. Okay, the next 5 games, he goes 0 from 5 because he's a youngster and starts missing sitters. Then what happens? That's the thing. So this for me is where, listen, I understand where the certain frustrations of certain Chelsea fans comes from, because experience has been shoved in their face as a buzzword over the last year. In terms of experience. It's not just a matter of experience. You need to experience players who are actually good to help get you through difficult times. Because the players that get you through the difficult times at my club, Virgil van Dijk, Trent, Mo Salah, Alisson, experience. I know if a guy walks in That's why Darwin Nunez, and other, certain people in my fan base, not me, but certain people in my fan is willing to give him a chance because we have that experienced core. The problem is you're actually, according to reports, trying to get rid of Sterling. You're going to get rid of Gallagher. You're going to get rid of any experienced player, and you're basically going with a youth project. Now, the thing is, the expectations of the Chelsea fans and the direction that the board is headed and need to align, or else you're going to have a toxic club for the next 5 years with no direction whatsoever. Because if your club is telling you, we are going to be doing a youth project, then simply Ahmed and Winter Surfer will prepare themselves for a youth project, and they will, just reorganize the way that they think and go like, you know what? It's a youth project. We're doing this step by step. It's fine if we just develop these players and finish 5th, 6th, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And even towards the end of the year, like Andrew wasn't even ranting or complaining anymore. Ahmed wasn't ranting or complaining anymore. They're like, you know what? Finish. We finished 6th. Tomato, whatever. It's not that bad. Let me just read these 2 super chats before we carry on. Big up to my guy Ed, who says, big up the panel, big up Hussam, hit them likes faster than... I'm not going to read that. Ed, you are a fraud. Ed, you are a fraud. He made me watch I never knew about this, but I watched the video yesterday and I just stopped in the middle of the stream. I just had a 15-second pause, just pausing, just like couldn't speak. But the first half, you had us in the first half, Ed. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. C24 says, big up Hussam, but you misread my comment like always. I want to know, when we are trying to go for the Premier League, not now that we are in pole position, not that we're in pole position, top 4 we can get now. But that's the discussion that me, Andrew, and Ahmed are having, my brother. If you are doing a youth project, let it just be clear to the world. And listen, this is the perfect segue for us to kind of unpack this a bit more. Big up to all of you guys. Slap the like button, subscribe, because we want to talk about Chelsea's direction now. Like, where exactly are your club heading? Because you're talking about title races, not just you. Multiple Chelsea fans talking about title races, people talking about top 4 races, etc. Ahmed just said something, and I want him to expand on it. He actually thinks if you proceed this way this summer, you might not even get top 4. So can you elaborate on that a little bit, Ahmed, for us, please?
What I mean by that is that, other teams are going to get better. I think last season, one of the things that helped us so much was that the teams around us also were very bad, by the way. Like, let's be honest about that, right? A lot of the teams around us were very bad too. This season, we may not have that slight saving grace. Sometimes you may also have this thing of like, because we have young players, yes, at times they will excel. They may also, they may also like stunt temporarily. You also have a new manager now who's coming in here with a new system, who's very fresh in the EPL too, right? And then, the transfers you're bringing in, for me personally, are they necessarily game changers? You know what I mean? When I'm hearing Samuel Omoridion, possibly Somerville, possibly, what's his name? What's the other guy? I forgot. Andrew can help me out here. There's another guy I'm missing, right? The gentleman from... I don't know. See, exactly. So, like, when you're hearing one of those 2 guys, right? I'm looking at that.
About the guy who missed the chances in the Champions League final.
You're talking about Samu. You're talking about Samu.
Yeah, I think maybe Samu, maybe whoever it is, right? You look at all those options, and I'm like, it's very similar to already what we have. So, how much of that is going to be truly added value?
Right.
And then we can
so
say,
you're saying
I want to
even
win.
scared for top 4 now.
Yeah, and you can say they consistently tell me, they want to win titles, they want to win championships, right? And they want to build a team. Listen, I'm all for the process, if you want to call it whatever you want to call it, right? But I need to be seen at every single step, right? The movement that we've taken, because this year, if this year is meant to be the top 4 step, I now need a bit more, level of experience from a player we're going to bring in, right? That's what we need to be doing, right? That's the next step for top 4, and I'm not even seeing that either, bro. I'm not even seeing that either. I don't mind. Again, I've said this before. You can buy all of the potential guys you want, but at least add some value into the squad. Add needed value into the squad, and I'm not seeing that, bro.
Agree. I would say this.
I just want to add something, because this is the same guy that sent the super chat. C24, you remind me of the Liverpool fans that tell me we signed Robertson from Hull for 3 million and use the outlier as the example. The outlier should never be the example, because you've just mentioned Cole Palmer, who there is consensus agreement that he's been a fantastic signing for Chelsea, whether you support Chelsea or not. Look at the other signings. It's not just Cole Palmer and full stop. Cole Palmer is also English and also Premier League proven and also knows the stadiums and also knows the culture and also knows the food and also knows everything about the country. So you're taking away even the human element. You need to understand, Liverpool signed Robertson from relegated Hull City. Liverpool signed Wijnaldum from relegated Newcastle. You know why I use my own club as an example? So he doesn't get triggered. So he actually listens to what I'm saying. So we signed those two from relegated clubs. My club was linked to Somerville this season. You guys have both heard my opinion. Did I want Somerville at Liverpool? Did I want him? Nope. I didn't want Somerville at Liverpool because I just don't think people need to understand something. The problem now with clubs buying potential has become that players are skipping the level in between, which means it's no longer Somerville goes from Leeds to like Crystal Palace to like someone like that and then to Chelsea. Now it's like straight away Leeds to Chelsea. And then the problem is when he gets to Chelsea, he gets treated like a Chelsea player, but he's not a Chelsea player level. Exactly. We also Somerville stinker at Wembley in the championship in the playoff. We also saw that stinker. I went and actually looked at his stats. I actually looked at his stats objectively and actually fully went like through his detailed stats. Bro, a lot of Somerville's goals are against like Rochdale and shit clubs. With all due respect to the championship, there's about 15, 14 clubs in the championship that Leeds should be beating with their eyes closed. I'm actually being serious. Like there are some clubs in the championship that are really dreadful, like 10 of them. And I looked at his goals. It's like a hat-trick versus Rochdale, 2 assists versus Stockport, 3 goals versus I don't know who. Like, and then I looked at the Southampton games. The important ones, 0 GA. I looked at the Leicester games. I don't think he scored or assisted against Leicester either. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm signing this guy because he scored a hat-trick against Rochdale. But if I send Luis Diaz to the championship, he'd also score a hat-trick against Rochdale. So where do we go from here? And I'm trying to get rid of Diaz. That's why your logic can never be the outlier, C24. Look at the overarching perspective. Mudryk was signed based on potential. Enzo was signed based on potential. Caicedo was signed based on potential. Badiashile was signed based on potential. We can go through the whole list of the players you've signed. David Washington. You want to keep going? I can mention them all. Matt Wake. Jackson, on and on and on. I can mention them all. And they've all had good moments because we're here to be objective. They've all had good moments. Jackson has had good moments. Madueke has had good moments. Hell, even Mudryk has had good moments. But you know what comes with potential? Bad moments too. You know what Chelsea can't afford if they want to top 4? Bad moments. That's 100%, bro.
Which is why this whole thing about, you're right. It's not even about age. It's about quality, right? Because Olise's only 22, right? But he's quality. That's the whole thing. Sign who you want. I don't care what the age is. It's quality right there. Don't go from Olise to Somerville because that will make. I don't know what I'll do. I might just give up the season already. It's not even.
Bro, started. I can see it already in the headlines, bro. I can see it already, bro.
But also is the thing is this: you can have potential in several places on a team, right? Or projects, if you want to call them, right? The 2 positions where you cannot have a project is a goalkeeper and a striker, right? You cannot have projects in those positions, right? And if you want to be a successful team, those are the 2 top positions in any team if you want to be successful. I've told Sam this multiple times. Not last season, season before. The biggest reason Liverpool finished 5th that season was Alisson. Mo Salah contributed, of course, second half of the season. But if Alisson wasn't there that first half of the season, I don't know if Liverpool even finished 5th that season. I really don't. And even last season, I'll point out one game, Crystal Palace away. Alisson saved right before halftime and right at the end to get Liverpool those 3 points. When you have a goalkeeper who can literally save you 10 to 15 points a season, it's crucial. I think Petrovic did okay. I have him as a backup. Sanchez is crap, in my opinion. He shouldn't be. I like that Madicic.
The worrying part is Maresca when I use him, Sanchez.
Well, yeah, I know.
They keep on saying, listen, you know, I feel like they say Maresca, and then you know what it means, you know what I mean? It's more so like they're using his name to almost be like, we want you to say. I feel like that might be it, bro.
But the reason why it makes sense is because he's a ball-playing manager. That's why it makes sense.
But also, it's like
if you ask Pep Guardiola, do you prefer Sanchez or Petrovic? He'll probably say Sanchez too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true. But I wanted this summer should have been like last 2 summers. If you want to give him any leeway, you should say, okay, it's to build a squad. You've got sort of a nucleus, like a beginning of a spine right now. Start adding quality to it, right? You've got Augusto, you've got a Caicedo, you've got a Jackson, you've got a Palmer, whatever, right? A few others you can mix around like that. Start adding quality to it. Was Olise? No one. Olise would have been cherry on top of the cake, but he's quality, right? You add quality, it builds up. It takes other players up the quality as well. You know what I mean? People are going to get more chances up front. Hopefully, Nkuku can be fit. Do you know what I mean? More quality. Add quality around the players, right? The reason when and Don Sheriff and Sam started last season. I predicted Liverpool to be in a title race. I predicted them being in a title race for their attack, not their defense. Right? But that was the ironic thing. I thought they had the best selection of attackers, right, in terms of who they could go to. Now, Jota stayed fit. It might have been a bit different, but he's always injury prone, right? Stuff like that. But Mo Salah is now going into, let's be fair, Mo Salah is going into the twilight of his career, right? For however long Liverpool have got left, they need to sign quality around him and fitter players. It's the same at Chelsea. Right? You want Palmer to grow. You don't want him to have a second season syndrome. Put quality players around him. Put quality players around him. Put an Olise around him. Don't put a Somerville. No offense to Somerville, and I like Somerville. I don't hate Somerville when anyone says anything. But players like a Somerville, don't give him players like Somerville.
You know who should sign Somerville? Brighton. That's who should sign.
Do you know? Yes. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is though? Like the drop off. Look at the drop off. By the way, it's just the drop off, bro. You went from potentially Olise or Nico Williams. Let's say Nico Williams because he's a left winger too, right? Nico Williams is a left winger to Somerville. Do you see the gap that we're actually going down towards? That's like, I don't know why people cannot see that. Like, it's a big gap. And then when you've already got guys like Sterling there, who, listen, Sterling had to produce as well. Maybe he might produce against Maresca. And then you've got Mudryk there, who has been extremely erratic, if I'm being generous to him. And now you're going to Somerville. You know what I mean? It's just, it complicates everything further. And I think the thing I'm looking for, let's not even call it experience. I just want players who are consistent. You get consistent performances out of them. Consistency.
But that's where the confusing messaging comes in again, right?
Yes.
You can't say, we want top 4 and a trophy, and then go link me to some guy like Samu who I hadn't heard until we were linked to him.
I didn't hear, by the way, about. Listen, I watched Las Palmas.
I don't know who he is.
For Sam, by the way, I watched Las Palmas once or twice when they were facing Barcelona or Madrid, and I didn't even remember. I didn't know he was even on the pitch. That's what I'm saying to you. That's no offense to Samu. He may turn out great, but literally, I didn't even recognize him on the pitch, bro.
And then
the problem with what you're saying, Ahmed, is he may turn out great. The issue is you cannot sign 5 he may turn out great players.
And the problem is for me also, we can't have guys at the same level of Jackson. We criticizing Jackson week in and week out for missing chances, right? We need, we can't just then say, let's bring in Duran. Let's bring in Samuel Omaridion. Let's bring in Maximilian Bayer, and then what's that? This is not like anime where Naruto and Sasuke, by the way. You know what I mean? This is not Naruto and Sasuke, where they're competing to be the number one guy. You know what I mean? Ninja. Like you can't do that in football, bro. It doesn't work like that, man. It doesn't work like that. Some players, they don't. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. I'm just, what it is, I'm just tired, bro. Wallahi, I'm just tired, bro. And I just want people to realize this, and I'm gonna say this again. If I hear any of my any Chelsea fans say I want Musiala, Wirtz, or any of those guys in that ilk, then they're just lying to themselves, innit? Because they should know by now that's not gonna happen. Please, if I see a Chelsea fan that I know say those words to me, they're frauds. So I'm gonna end it like that.
I'm gonna let that anime reference. Oops, I'm gonna let that anime.
1 second,
even though anime is not accepted on this channel, you get me? But
what do you mean, bro? How can you hate? Nah, that's crazy, bro.
I'm with a Sam anime.
Astaghfirullah, man. Listen, I'm an anime elitist, bro.
Ahmed, you're a grown-ass man who watch cartoons. Respectfully.
Are you? Listen, that's a childhood reference.
Respectfully, you're a grown-ass man who watch cartoons.
Childhood reference, man.
Let's get your shit together. Okay. Back to Chelsea. We ain't gonna talk about no Sasuke and whoever the hell is thing. Let's talk about thing. And it's funny because the people that are talking now without Champions League football, you didn't have Champions League football last summer. You signed Caicedo, so all this need Champions League football is just escapism. So anyway, big up to C24, big up to Ed, Jack, and Ashraf for the super chats. Big up every single super chatter. Thank you guys so much. You guys help keep the channel going, so I appreciate you guys. Please do slap the like button. Do subscribe to This Is Football if you're ready to do so. Now we have to talk about it, guys. We have to. Clearlake, Clownlake, Iqbali, Boehly, Stanley, Stewart. I'm seeing people, even like Jimmy now, say all the eyes are on the scouts. The people upstairs, Andrew, and I want to start with you for this section. Talk. What happens with the people upstairs now?
Well, I told you, as soon as Poch was sacked, they should have announced the 2 sporting directors either got sacked or they bring in a experienced sporting director or anything like that. Now, they didn't do that. So my main focus is when you sign players like this Aston Villa kid or the signing manager like Maresca, I'm now focused fully on you. My thing is this. That's why now, okay, everyone's going, well, what's the target after Olise? I'm fixed on them. Like I said, what's your target now? Because the way it's going around, you are not going to sign players that the fan base like rate through the names or like rivals rate through their names. It's going to be like hit on something and hope it pays off, like a Palmer, like a Jackson to a certain extent, like a Gusto, something like that. Hope it pays off. So my focus will be on them. What's the transfer window? It's August 30th, I believe, right? It's the last day of the transfer window.
Yeah. August, I think.
I'm sitting there, and if I'm sitting there, and the transfer window is this Aston Villa kid and some other like nameless nobodies at the moment, then my sole focus will be on just them going, you just wasted 2 years, essentially. You've wasted an optimal opportunity, because the way PSR rules are going like that, I don't know if many clubs are going to spend that big, right? In the Premier League. So you've missed out an opportunity of getting like an Ivan Toney for like 40 million or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Okay, he wouldn't ask for it. I don't care if he's asking. I don't care if he's asking. Just pay it. His goals are enough for his wages. Do you know what I mean? Just pay it, stuff like that. If you don't get me a goalkeeper that I rate, then you can't. I'm not going to say we're going to get top 4. Do you know what I mean? Petrovic, like I said, was good, but I don't think he could play out from the back like others can. Do you know what I mean? So everything will be focused. If Tosin's the only centre-back partnership, and we're relying on Fofana to see if he can walk properly with his reconstructed knees, let alone like last like 30 games. Reece James is already missing the first 3 games of next season due to suspension, not injury. Can he last more than a half? Do you know what I mean? Our left-back situation. Okay, Cucurella did very well the other night, but you're going to use him. Ben Chilwell's still there on 200k a week. He can't last the season either. So there's so many question marks still after spending all this money that everything needs to be focused on the board and the ownership right now. Even now, as we're speaking right now on June the 22nd, yes, June 22nd, the focus shouldn't be on the team and the manager or the head coach, sorry. It should be completely on the sporting directors and the ownership. And that's all it should be on. It's all it should be on. You can go on about, this player's not enough, this player's not enough. They chose to sign for Chelsea. The sporting directors chose to buy them. Do you know what I mean? Or the ownership chose to buy them. They're going on about, we signed Kendrick Pius and Esteval. That's next year. We don't know where we're going to be in a year's time. If we're in the same position or finish 7th, that's not progression to me. We've stagnated or gone backwards. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like the whole situation. It's like it's just very, like I say, it's mixed messages. I'm being very polite here. It's mixed messages. They're sending out again. You want top 4 finish in a trophy, but you are giving me a 19-year-old from Aston Villa. I mean, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? It's just mad. I'm going to move rooms.
Like, I just want to just say, like, when if you hear to a lot of these guys that are in the know at Chelsea, they will say to you, these directors are basically crap. They can't even sell the project to a lot of these players. So for me, fundamentally, why are they here? Firstly, right? You should be bringing in guys who are much better, who know how to do the job, know how to pitch, and are much more experienced. If this is the case and this is true, they should be gone. They should be gone already, because they almost fucked up. Sorry if I swear. Yeah, they've almost destroyed the Caicedo deal, destroyed the the Enzo deal, right? And that has meant that the ownership has to come in. It's apparently, if you listen to some of the stuff that's been happening, even on release, they've done the same thing too. So, why are they here first and foremost? They should not be here at all, my personal opinion. Secondly, you say that you care, about you say you care about winning, right? For me personally, if that is true, okay, I understand bringing in some of the talent, everything like that. But at the same time, your actions are not showing me that, bro. Your actions are not necessarily showing me that. You know what I'm saying to you? I need to see action. I need to see, stuff happen. Otherwise, we can say, oh, they brought Enzo and Caicedo. Yes, that's good. But what are those are the good top tier talents, but we haven't gotten the consistent guys, the guys that are going to be able to make sure we win games and are consistent in doing so. That's all it is.
Let me ask you the $1 million question here. Do you think your club is being run like a Brighton?
I mean, they said they wanted to be like a RB Leipzig Brighton model. They've said that before. So I always knew that, by the way, Hussam. I know that a lot of people seem to have like woken up to this, but I always knew that was something they were trying to do, where we were going to become almost like a Red Bull or Brighton. I'll say plus plus plus. That was always my idea that they were trying to do, where we can win titles, but at the same time we're doing the thing of like we're able to flip players for profits. Maybe let them stay here a season or 2 or 3, right? Yeah, and let us win titles. But then eventually, what's gonna happen? They will obviously because maybe we can't reach their wage demand, or they will have to move on. They would have to then go into another team where they will be sold for a large amount of money to help the team continue. But so this is not nothing.
I saw that missed by Georgia, by the way. That's just PTSD from Diaz and Nunez all year long, but I'm not even gonna go there. So you are worried that they are running you like a Brighton, basically, because of the Brighton directors.
Possibly, but but I already knew that he Boehly has said in his own thing that he likes the Brighton model because of how they're able to lose a player and bring another player, and they can flip the player they sold for a profit too.
The Brighton model's fine, but it doesn't lead to any success. Do you know what I mean? That's the whole model. If the Brighton model, I can guarantee you right now, Sam, the Brighton management above the coach hated being in Europe this season. They hated it because they had to spend more money. Do you know what I mean? They had to spend more money. They hate it. They hate being in Europe.
How do you react if your ownership don't want to play in the conference?
Don't want to play in the conference?
Yeah. If
I'd
they
be,
pull out
I'd
like
be,
Juve did.
I'd be a bit ashamed because it's like you should want to win. Get this team winning trophies as quickly as possible. No matter what you think about the trophy in general, you should want them to get some type of winning feeling in this. Plus, now with the European competitions, you don't get the drop-ins from the other competitions. I mean, we should, by name only, we should steamroll that competition.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It should be like
a team called F91. And
exactly. It's like people say it jokingly, but there is Wi-Fi password teams in this competition. Do you know? It's like license plate number teams in this competition. You know? It's ridiculous. But we should. I'd be appalled if they did that. You know, something like that. I think Juventus did it. That's fine and stuff like that. But I think this should be something. That's why I always say it's like in domestically. I always like the League Cup more sometimes than the FA Cup because it's the first trophy you can win for a side. And we've all known like it's very important. Like I believe like the League Cup. No, I believe you guys winning the League Cup a couple of seasons ago helped you spur you on a bit for the whole competitions. You know what I mean? It got that winning feeling for you guys to go on for the rest of the season. And Mourinho did it on both his occasions here with us. He talked about how winning the League Cup helped the guys get a winning mentality. Same with Pep and stuff like that. I don't understand people turning their noses up at trophies, no matter the level you think of them. We're all at different levels. We're not talking about a pre-season tournament here, right? Talking about a competition, an actual licensed competition that people can win. So I'd be appalled if they did that because it's a very winnable trophy. Of all the trophies we're in next season, it's the most winnable trophy we're in by far.
You know, if they refuse to compete in the Conference League, exactly what Juve did, it will show me that they genuinely treat Chelsea like Brighton now. No agenda.
Yes.
Like they fully do it.
Yeah,
I agree.
From their minds, they're like, you know what? We don't want to pay that extra money to go play in Hungary and Austria and stuff like that. So let's just not compete in it.
But you're willing to pay for an Argentinian defender, but you don't know how he's going to turn out for like in like a couple of years' time. Do you know what I mean? It's like, nah, it's not happening. I'd be really, really appalled by that. I'd be really appalled.
It's Chelsea versus Vatican City, you guys.
Hey, bring it on. Bring it on.
Listen, hey, Vatican City Stadium, here we come, man. Vatican City Stadium, here we come. Nah, man. But you know what it is, bro. End of the day, it's just tiring, bro. It's just very tiring. That's all it is, man. And I feel like we just should be all on the same page, really. I don't know why, like you have guys that are just being too super defensive, and guys are on the other side, But the reality is, boys, yeah, Chelsea is a big club. I don't know why this is escaped over people's mind. Like, we shouldn't have made the last 20 years that we've had, or 22 years under, that has helped us to reach that next level. And we should, no matter what happens, we should be able to maintain that on some way, shape, or form. Yes, you may not be as strong as you were previously in the regards to that. We don't have a guy that's willing to do, the Mazzolini, every single time in the transfer window. But we should be keeping that top level heritage. That top club heritage. That's all I'm pretty sure me and Seth are asking for. Make sure to maintain it. Listen, let's compete for titles. Yes, we're not going to win it every single time, but as long as we do that, we're winning some level of trophies. Of course, we're going to be happy, right?
It's not. It's even more simpler than that.
Yeah.
Get your messaging on point about what you're doing. Do not send this fan base. They're confused already, but do not give them confusing messages about actions speak louder than words. Your words are not matching your actions whatsoever, 100%, right? 100%. They're not matching them at all. Do not say going for top 4 and you're bringing me Omari Killerman. Yeah. Who?
And I'm sorry, yeah. I'm sorry. Big up to my guy Seniak, yeah. He knows he's my guy, yeah. But when he's bringing up Palmer, Jackson, and Gusto, those guys, yes, have happened. But it's not. We're not gonna get 100% hit rate on every single potential talent that we bring in through the door.
Right, we've got
very just T24 is just a Carefree Lewis disciple because he's
no. He's a right guy.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. T24 is definitely a disciple. You get me? Because he just says what Lewis says. That's just the reality.
He's not like that.
You get me? Because T24 thinks it's all Poch's fault. He's mentioned it already in the chat. Like, oh, even if with a bad structure, we would have gotten the top 4. Yeah, tell me about them. Yeah, anyway, Wolves away, Brentford at home, Brighton at home. Blah, blah. I've memorized the paragraph already that he says. Are you gonna say it as well? C24. I've memorized the paragraph. Playing 2 strikers at home to Forest. The structure against Arsenal, the substitutions, the fact that he brought on too many defensive players. Poch out. Maybe if Poch is at your club, you'd have a chance of getting El Olise. At least there'd be like some form of pull there from a Premier League proven manager. Instead you got Boehly from which out here.
I have to say because I was speaking to Ziad yesterday on on another channel, because he was on Alex Holberg channel, and you saying,
"Can you come closer to the microphone? Stop whispering, Habibi."
Sorry. Maybe I need to increase my gain. 1 second, bro.
Yes, increase your gain.
Your head or something. Pull it down.
Just like you need to increase your gain at the gym because we all know you don't deadlift 200 kilograms.
Brother, wallahi, this week I'm going to do
it. Don't say wallahi.
This time I'm being serious.
I call you the Chelsea Hamza. You both say wallahi and lie. There you are.
No, I can't do. That's a stuff for a live man. Come on, let's be serious. But I know, on a serious note, I was speaking to Ziad, yesterday on another playback thing, and he was saying 200k for Olise. No, thank you. Like, when did this happen to my football club? That we've concerned ourselves on playing top players 220k a week. Oh, it's going to concern Palmer.
Ziad doesn't rate Bellingham. Do you know what I mean?
No, but it's not even just him though. It's like a lot of people say to me. A lot of people are saying 220k is too much for this player. And it's going to affect what happens to the other guys in the squad. Well, if they're doing well, they should be being paid that exact money. And another point I want to make here is that players like guaranteed money. You know what I mean? There's going to be times where these players may be out injured. They're not getting those bonuses. They're going to be getting a base salary of 60, 70k.
On a side note, you can definitely think that they had that in the back of their mind about not paying Olise that money because of the other player, what the other players are currently on right now, and then not having a string of knocks at the door, or whatever, to up mine to match it. You can definitely see them thinking that about not paying him that or 220, 180 is fine because it probably matches Enzo and stuff like that. But going over it, you can definitely think that they had that in the back of their mind about that. You can definitely see them thinking that when they were negotiating, but. Hey, that's what I said earlier. That's one of the things that's going to be a hard learning.
So funny that from the same people that wanted Olise all summer long now saying like, oh yeah, I'm the Chelsea accountant, 200 grand a week. That's too much. Oh yeah, 200. I'm sorry.
It's crazy to be demanding top 4.
Paying Michael Olise, Premier League proven talent, 200 grand is a lot. Wow.
Yeah.
Breaking.
I know. Yeah.
Shock horror there.
It's mad. Yeah. It's mad. It's the same people that are online going, well, actually, if you think about it, would Olise really do well at us? Would he really help our team?
Exactly. We got Cole Palmer on the right.
I'm one of everyone knows, I'm one of Madueke's biggest fans, literally. And I'm telling you, this guy Olise is clear of him. You know what I mean? This guy would be
he's clear. If you put Mudryk, Sterling, and Madueke together, his right foot is clear of all of them, let alone his left foot. You know, it's ridiculous. The copium is
yes,
just mad.
You're right. You got me there. I don't rate Olise so much that I wanted that at Liverpool.
Do you know what's funny, Hassan?
Big up to you guys.
Before you finish, Hassan, the funny thing is, Durant is the next target that we're going for, right? For striker. And the problem we have with him is wages as well. Can you imagine? We can't even give wages with a guy that's only got 5 appearances in the EPL. Hold on, man. You know what I mean? It's just, you know what I mean? God give me strength.
Here's the copium for you. Here's the copium. Here's the copium. Club just announced Esteval. That's the PR for you right there. They just announced.
You cannot say la hawla alone.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's very my apologies.
Anyway, big up to you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to This Is Football if you're yet to do so. This stream is going to take you to Footy Judge Mo, where he's going live with Ches, who's the biggest copium drug dealer in the Chelsea fan base right now. Big up to Ed. Big up to C24, Ashraf, and Jack for the super chats. Big up to you guys. Slap the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to This Is Football if you're ready to do so. Please hit the like button and subscribe right here, right now. I'm going to be back for Turkey, Portugal, inshallah. So stick around, don't go anywhere. And go subscribe to the bridge. That's where you can find Ahmed FIFA failing. You get me on the bridge. So go subscribe to him over there, and go subscribe to Casual FC so you can see more of Andrew. And you can see him here and on the terrace everywhere. Andrew's just, you know, he's the Gallagher. So hit the like button, guys. Subscribe. Let's get to 200 likes before we end the stream. And I'm going to see you guys on Footy Judge Mo's channel. Go spam his chat with Arnautovic to piss him off.
Hey, peace.